Hi guys!
Hey.
It's the first episode of the Weymouthers podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Im, aka @imvirga on Twitter, which is where hopefully most of you probably know us from.
Most likely. And I'm Rachel, aka Happily Smythe on Twitter. Yeah, everyone loves me. I got all my hit tweets.
You know, we're just icons basically.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so we figured
everyone knows who we are.
everyone in the whole wide world. And so we figured what's better than to share our great thoughts, which will be heavily censored. Not
if
like
it's about sway, maybe.
Not physically censored, like there's a censor bar, but in our heads we're gonna have to tone things down.
Yeah, no, it's so bad.
But we're here. It's the first episode.
It's very unprofessional. The audio sucks.
The Bruins had a very eventful weekend, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
Those were definitely two games that we watched.
Yeah, sure.
So, anyways, before we get into that, we were having a discussion before we started recording. Because we both have our emotional support drinks to get us through this episode. You cannot see it, but mine is Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, and mine is a McDonald's Coke. Just half done.
I hate Coke with a burning passion. And Rachel hates Pepper. Dr. Pepper.
I really hate Dr. Pepper. It's so gross.
It's so good. Like, Coke genuinely...
If it's opposite day.
Makes me want to retch.
No, like, that's me with Dr. Pepper.
So, basically, we need to know your guys' opinions. Coke or Dr. Pepper.
Do you like Coke or Dr. Pepper, even though they're not comparable? Really?
You can't compare them. That's like...
Okay, well, you like Pepsi better, though. You said... okay, that's the argument, though.
Coke no, I don't like Pepsi. It's just, like, if there's no Dr. Pepper,
it's better than Coke. You would, like, you would choose it over Coke.
But
okay,
I
you're
do
wrong.
like cherry.
Just letting you know. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. Dr. Pepper on top.
Wait, did you say cherry Coke?
I do like cherry Coke and cherry Pepsi.
I had a cherry Coke last night. That was my only option, was cherry Coke.
But I think the cherry is because it makes it sweeter and it tastes more like Dr. Pepper. Because Dr. Pepper has that cherry flavor. But I do hate cherry flavored things, which is...
I hate cherry flavored things. Ugh. Especially cherries themselves.
Ugh,
cherry flavor.
Cherries are so bad.
They're so gross. I'm sorry. They are.
So terrible.
Like,
sorry to my
cherry on top. I don't want the cherry.
Yeah. Sorry all my cherry lovers out there, but fuck you.
I've said cherry too much. It's not a word anymore.
Well, speaking of cherry, the lunch pail AC, Don Cherry. We're bringing it back.
Bringing it back?
Also,
last night?
Okay, so, Monty wore that checkered vest thing.
Yep.
To, like, yeah.
Monty is so cute.
The Bruins, I love Monty, but the Bruins posted, it was like a grape evening and a grape emoji.
A grape?
And I saw the notification. I was like, Jacob Lauko.
Jacob Lauko
playing last night. And then I opened it up and it was Monty, Brad, and Patra. I'm sorry, but you can't post about grapes and it not be the king of grapes.
I don't care that, like, it still correlates. No.
That's like fucking calling that bitch.
Even the comments on the posts were like,
they're all about
Lauko.
That's like fucking calling that bitch on the Red Wings, Bergie.
Literally,
that ain't Bergie.
You? Like, who are you?
And fucking calling Marchessault Marshy?
He's not Marshy. That's it. We already have one. Get your own.
Like, anyways, we're gonna get into the first game because we've just been ranting about whatever.
Dr. Pepper and nicknames.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna be kind of leading this because I decided to be a great co-host and write notes down.
So professional.
I had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was scoreless in the first period,
Yeah, that
and
was.
then the second period starts, and our offense is non-existent, and we're down 2-0 because inevitably Ole can't stand on his head forever.
Exactly.
So we're down 2, and then Ole makes a fucking crazy save
because he's
like
Ole.
yeah, like 5 minutes left in the second period.
Fucking insane.
Fucking saves, and then it rebounds back, and then fucking someone tries to score again, and it just like the tip of his fucking
literally the tip
of his fucking pads.
Oh my god.
Fucking it was so good. And then that led Geeky to score like immediately after pretty much.
I fucking love Morgan Geeky.
Like, and guys, Morgan Geeky's goal was a power play goal.
A power play goal? In this economy?
And then, you know what's crazy? Not even, they were like 3 minutes apart. David Pasternak scores another power play goal.
I mean, that's fucking insane. We can't even get one power play goal
so
in any other game.
If you guys don't know, the Bruins power play sucks ass. And we're missing Pavel Zacha and Charlie McAvoy, and so we were like, okay, we have zero hope. But yeah, so then we were tied 2-2 at the end of the period. So great, we're so back.
We're so back. And then
we weren't back.
Because we were not back. It was over.
It was so over.
It was so over.
AKA the Islanders scored again. And then Marshy had a goal.
So we're back again!
But wait! The refs wanted to suck the Islanders' dick. And we're like, no goal, because Marshy's hand was the thing that pushed the fucking puck in.
Oh, he gloved it in! Oh, woe is me! Are you serious?
Bro, if his hand was here, the puck would have hit his fucking stick. He was pushing his stick.
Even if it hit his glove. He didn't glove it in! He was pushing
both of his hands were on his stick.
Like,
and he was pushing his stick. He was not like, it's bringing in me flashbacks to the JD glove pass.
The JD hand pass. Fucking crazy.
God damn it. Anyways. And then JVR was like, you know what? Fuck you. Don't take our captain's goal away. I'm going to score yet another power play goal.
And we're back again.
We're so back.
We're so back.
We're so back. So then it's 3-3. And you know what has to happen? The Islanders just have to score again.
Again. You know?
And so then it's 3-4. And then this is honestly, in my mind, the goal of the night.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, so we're only going to fucking score on the power play? Mason Lohrei said
Mason
no.
Lohrei? Absolutely not. I'm going to get a shot from the back of the net. It's going to go off.
I'm going to shoot at a negative angle. I'm behind the fucking net, and I'm going to score a goal.
As a defenseman.
A defenseman. How old is he? 19? 20?
No, he's
22? He's 22. He's 22. He's 22.
22.
Yeah. He just looks like a fucking child. Anyways.
Dorito man.
A 22-year-old rookie, pretty much, is gonna fucking shoot this puck, and it's gonna go off of Sorokin's back and into the goal.
Like, Mason Lohrei, you are my savior. Like,
you are my god. We're so back. It's time.
We're so back. We're so back.
We have not had a lead this entire fucking game. This entire game. And so the game actually goes into overtime. And you know what happens in overtime?
Absolutely
fucking nothing. Nothing at all. Which, honestly, I feel like our overtimes, we either lose or nothing happens.
Yeah, no, we can't. No.
And so then
I seriously, can't.
We go into the shootout.
Yeah.
Ollie, great save. Ollie makes a great save because JD doesn't get it in.
Okay.
And then, guys, the next person in the shootout is actually Charlie Coyle. And did you know?
Who better than?
Did you guys know that Charlie Coyle
Weymouth?
Because believe it or not, that might be what this podcast is named after. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Because I don't know how to spell. I forget words sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I just tweeted, "Hey guys, did you know that Charlie Coyle Weymouth?"
And it was it. That was it. That was.
We started a revolution, actually.
It actually was.
Are
crazy.
either of us from Weymouth, Massachusetts? No.
I'm closer than she is.
Is one of us not even
in
from
Massachusetts? Yes.
Also, yes.
Also, yes.
One of us might just be in Indiana.
You know? It's just,
just the way the cookie tumbles. But Weymouth, fucking Charlie Coyle Weymouth.
Charlie Coyle Weymouth scored.
Or this sick fucking. Oh, it was so
good. It's the power of Weymouth that got him that goal.
Him and Pasta actually run a masterclass in shootouts.
They do.
Because, okay, we'll get to Pasta's fucking goal later because that was fucking witchcraft.
We need to.
But Charlie Coyle was so nonchalant about it. He did his fucking forecheck, like, fucking play with the puck, and then just released it right in the glove side. Sorokin had no chance against Charlie Coyle Weymouth. The workhorse from Weymouth, yeah, he's scoring on your bitch in the shootout. And then, Ollie couldn't make a save. So,
because the Bruins can't not edge us. So
they love to edge us. Actually,
they do.
The Bruins are like, what are we gonna do with all of our fan base today? We're gonna edge them.
We're gonna edge them the whole fucking game long.
The whole game.
We're gonna give them hope, and we're gonna take it right away from them.
At least 10 times per game.
Yep.
It's like a roller coaster of we're so back, it's so over, we're so back, it's so over.
Because the second we get down even one goal, it's just over. And that's how our fan base is.
Because that's because I'm convinced that's what the Bruins think. They get down and they just fucking give up.
Literally.
Okay, and then David Pastrnak.
I love that man!
Every time he goes in the shootout, he acts like he just took a nap and woke up and was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck your bitch.
The way that this man is like, I'm gonna skate up to the net casually. I'm gonna take a shot like it means nothing, and you're not gonna save it. You're not
because the thing is, it's like a toe drag release, but he doesn't like behind him, and then it just you can't tell where that's going.
You only can't predict that. He's done it like 3 times.
Every time in the shootout, and he does it, and then just skates away, points as his fucking pointy thing.
Oh, it's just
acts like
disrespectful, downright despicable.
Acts like he just did not just win us that game.
Downright despicable, that man. Oh my god.
Like after you get scored on by David Pastrnak in the shootout, you have to be embarrassed in that locker room.
No, yeah, exactly. Like
your career is over.
Like if I was in that locker room, I'd be looking at him like, bitch. It's just, that man.
Ugh. And then, was that night the night that fucking Chikrin went down the wrong locker room?
I think, yeah. But then we figured out why. We
finally learned why, but there were a couple jokes going around that night.
The jokes were good. The
jokes were great.
Even he appreciated the jokes. He liked them.
It gave him a good laugh. But we found out he got a little bit of a gash, like a
little bit, one.
Just a little one, and the Dallas medical staff told him to go and get fixed up in the Stars locker room.
At the end of the day, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Surrounding
Well, I
it.
was most confused on is why like when it first happened was why none of the other
reacted.
stars,
Nobody reacted. They were just like, yeah,
So
okay.
we're like, so that's what confused me the most because I was like, do they just not realize? Like, do they all have?
We're just gonna let him walk in here, you know?
Like, I love the jokes that were like, oh, he got traded mid game.
In mid game is crazy.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
That was great. And then fucking, we'll talk about the whole Kairu situation later because that completely changed over like 48 hours.
No, yeah.
But anyways, do we have any thoughts about the game on Friday night?
No.
I think we covered it all.
No, I just Lena Solmark is God.
Lena Solmark is God.
Matt Grizzlick is like Jesus to me. He wasn't at the bottom of the graphic. Let's go. My number 48. But no, last night, I don't want to talk about last night with Matt Grizzlick, but
Matt Grizzlick was at number 4 in the chart.
Number 4 in
and since he came back from injury, he has consistently been at the bottom of the chart every single game, and by a wide margin.
By a very wide margin.
Very wide margin.
I'm so proud of him. But you know what? At least he's not Connor Clifton.
Cliffy, baby, I love you.
Cliffy, I love you, but babe, what?
But babe, what?
What?
And I will say this. Shelf, plug your ears.
Shelf, block your ears.
Hampus Lindholm, during the actual game, was not looking great, but he redeemed himself during overtime.
That is true.
Because though we did not score in overtime, against the Islanders, bro was looking good.
Bro,
he woke up. He decided he was gonna play hockey today.
For once. Well, he said that.
So, yeah. So he redeemed himself a little bit. I will never be a Lindholm hater. He will always be my sweetest princess until the day that I die.
He is quite the princess, isn't he?
He looks like royalty. Like, genuinely.
Genuinely, like, his hair, his flow.
Bro, he looks majestic.
Literally, he is. But not when he has the puck.
Not when he has the puck.
Yeah, I love Lindy, but what? He was, like, our best defenseman last year. What the fuck?
I do think it has to do with his injury in
definitely something
the postseason, because I do think, I don't know if it's not fully healed or if he has like anxiety, like injury anxiety, because that's a common thing. I'm not going to nerd out right now about my athletic trainer bullshit, but
we'll get there eventually.
It'll come eventually. Just maybe not first episode. Anyways, yesterday's game.
Oh. Alright, let me preface this by saying, okay, I was not home. Okay, I was out. I was at a Christmas party with my friends, so I missed the whole first period. So I cannot talk about the first period. I did not see it. And I saw about half of the second period because we finally put the game on, and I saw the whole rest of the game. So,
yeah, well, the
Em can take the wheel for the first period because I have no fucking clue what happened.
Besides, the first period, pretty much everything happened in the first period, Bruins wise.
Great.
In the beginning of the second period. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a lot that happened last night.
Yeah.
But the first note is not like in chronological order. This is a game wide, honestly, year wide thing this season. Is Jack Edwards and Chinese mustard. He decides to bring this up every single game.
I think we could do a
not
whole
sure why.
Just Jack Edwards vernacular.
I don't quite know what Chinese mustard is and what it has to do with hockey.
It means it's, like...
It's a Ziggy pass. It's a... Yeah, like...
Fire. Why Chinese mustard? Like
you could just say that it was a good shot, a good pass. Chinese
not
mustard.
Jack Edwards. He can't do that.
Tumbling muffins.
Tumbling muffins. We got can of corns. We have Juicy Rebound.
Juicy.
That one's actually good. I like that one.
I think Juicy is one of the more normal ones.
Yeah, Juicy Rebound is fine. There was another one. The other night it was Juicy something Rebound. He added another adjective to it.
Yeah, he says a lot of sus things.
Yeah. It's got stuff like Coil spanks it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Can't gotta censor myself, man.
Anyways, Trent Frederick. Oh my
Trent
god. Hello, you're the only one serving cunt.
It's crazy. Like,
it's crazy. The three people that served cunt that night were Trent Frederick, Sway, and Witherspoon.
He was at the top of the scorecard.
He was at the very top of the scorecard, and not only that, he was at the top of the scorecard by a shit ton.
Right? Like, the margin was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so embarrassing that I'm the only one serving cunt out here is what he was giving.
No, literally, like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. That was literally him on the ice. Like, hello?
Yeah, Trent Frederick scored a goal.
And I missed it! I fucking missed it!
Him and Jacob Trouba.
And I fucking missed it too!
Him and Jacob Trouba were having some words in the first period.
Some words.
They were exchanging some words in the first period. And so a lot of Bruins hockey tweet was like, oh, they're so going to fight today.
It's so on.
And then it's so on. But you know what was crazy is a couple people actually decided to tweet that Jacob Trouba would absolutely demolish Trent Frederick easily in a fight.
Namely, we know who.
Namely, Martian for Lady Bing.
Yeah, Martian for Lady Bing.
We'll get into him later.
Most interesting people.
We'll get into him later because it will pertain to a question that we're answering.
Oh boy.
Anyways, Patra gets injured.
Patra, my little baby girl.
He gets absolutely fucking pummeled into the glass.
I watched it. I was
with his shoulder. Then he falls.
Like, Rachel, what? And I was like,
he goes down the tunnel, but he does come back not too shortly after. So he came back. He's okay. He's fine.
That's good.
Sway makes some fucking delicious saves.
As he should, as he always does.
Makes some saves, then he gets up in the fucking players' faces and is a cocky little cunt like we love.
As we know and love. Jeremy Swayman or Tim Thomas.
Jeremy Swayman solos.
As he should.
And then we go into the second period. I actually don't know when half of this shit happened because it's all out of order, kind of, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's all happening in the same game. Freddie and Trouba fight. I tuned in right after that because I was sick of not watching. Yeah. Freddie absolutely demolishes Trouba real fast. The fight over quite fast. I will say, the punches, it was more of a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Rather than a fight, but
it was personal.
I mean, whatever gets the job done, Freddie. Also, I love the Freddie tweet is that I could never hit Trouba as hard as he hits me. Oh. And so I'm going to have to make up for it with 10 fights. And
9 more times. I would love to see this 9 more times.
I'm like, Jesus fuck, how hard did he hit you in the head? When he says I could never hit him as hard as he hits me, he's saying I could never high stick him. I could never fucking swing my stick like a baseball bat across his head. Like Trouba did to Freddie a few games ago, last time we played the Rangers. So I'll just fucking fight him a shit ton to make up for it.
Exactly, and I support this movement.
I support Trent Frederick's rights and his wrongs.
If Trent Frederick is still on the Bruins to do this 9 more times, I love him to death, but babe.
Well, he has been playing good this year, I will say.
He has been doing better. I would like to see more of him.
As long as him and Coyle stay together.
No, it's crazy.
Like,
they're not.
Once again, Charlie Coyle Weymouth, it all ties back.
Charlie Coyle Weymouth is...
I will say, Charlie Coyle is popping pussy this year.
Oh, as he always does.
Like, bro is stepping up.
Love him for that. We need to win more face-offs.
David Pastrnak.
Absolutely
boards this dude.
Shit out of this man.
Like, boards the fuck out of this dude.
Like, I'm shocked he didn't have anything worse than that cut on the side of his head.
Yeah, he drew some blood.
I wouldn't have gotten up. I'm a pussy. I wouldn't have gotten up.
I would have been out.
Right.
So Pasta originally goes in for a 5-minute minor. And then it gets changed to a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. So our highest goal scorer
is out
of the game. It's still a 1-0 game at this point.
There's hope.
But at this point in time, it's a 1-0 game. Bruins are up, still only relying on Frederick and Jeremy Swayman being a god in the net.
Yep.
As we do most games. We draw more fucking penalties.
Like,
more fucking ludicrous penalties.
Ludicrous. Literally. Like, what the fuck? That was, like, the...
Campus Lindholms, that was not a high stick.
I can't even... He pulled his own stick off!
Bro, I'm gonna... None of you audio listeners, which all of you are, at least for this first episode, are gonna be able to see this, but I'm displaying this for Rachel. I have a Dr. Pepper in my hand, and I'm using it as Campus Lindholm's stick. New York Rangers had wrapped his arm around
the stick and pulled it up
himself.
Like, are you kidding me?
Bitch high sticked himself. What?
Like, I can't. Like, it's so...
You're fucking delusional.
Exactly.
So, you know, in good fashion, when we don't have our good players, we can't penalty kill. And so the Rangers had to score.
Right away, might I add.
Right away.
Like, we don't even get a chance.
As soon as
this comes back to the face-off. Like, we cannot fucking win a face-off. We don't have like Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. Like,
they were our face-off people.
How important their loss is because they took like every face-off of every game for like 15 years.
And they had crazy face-off, like when
they literally won like every face-off.
Yeah. So that's honestly where we miss them the most.
Yeah.
As far as stats-wise go.
Yeah.
And our offensemen being defensemen. Because that's another issue we have. But
we're not physical. We just aren't.
No.
We play with desperation.
Pasta's tried to step up his game, but then he just does it wrong and gets...
Every single time he tries to do something, it's just horrific.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad that he's trying to grow a more physical game, but at least learn how to do it correctly before you just keep fucking getting penalized.
Exactly. And then that just...
So we go into overtime. We go into overtime. We lose
how about that trip? Wait. How about that trip? He dove! Fucking dove!
He dove.
But anyway.
We
go into overtime, and we're actually on the PK in overtime, and we kill it?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
But then, I saw this tweet by a Rangers fan, and it fucking floored me. It killed me. I don't know if any guys have ever played NHL, like that fucking game, like Chell. But he edited like the little triangles over the Bruins players' heads. Player markers. And was like, this is what happens when your fucking controller disconnects mid-game. Because all three of our players just fucking lined up and stood there.
Exactly.
And I will 100% blame this goal on Matt Grzelcyk.
Matt Grzelcyk, literally his controller died. Like, he was out, his arms went to his side, then he just stopped fucking moving.
The other two, what are you doing? The other two were at least, like, on somebody because, like, they're Rangers players. Matt Grzelcyk was in the center, and he let his dude just get behind him and literally right next to Omar.
Literally, like, wide.
What were you thinking?
Wide open. Matt Grzelcyk, why wasn't he at the I love him. I'm so proud of him. He wasn't at the but what the fuck was that?
I like genuinely, you're fucking stupid.
Like you should be traded. He really should be traded. I don't want him to go because I love him, but he should
But,
be traded.
like, realistically, he should go.
He needs to not be here.
Like, oh my god.
He's still my number 48, but he does not 48.
Forever and always.
Not eat ever.
He does not eat.
He
eats
has
occasionally.
like one goal, right? One goal this year.
Yeah. Well, maybe once Chucky gets back, there'll be a little pair again.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Even then, he still sucks. He's still at the bottom by the massive margin. He's always at the bottom of that scorecard.
Yeah. So those were definitely 2 games. We got 3 points.
Played.
We got 3 points. We'll
Yeah.
take it. Yeah. I hate overtime with a burning passion.
No, overtime is.
But every time we go into overtime, I just have to remind myself, at least we get a point.
At least we get a point.
Because really, like, obviously, everyone wants 2 points per game.
Exactly.
But it's not going to happen, and so I'd rather take 1 point over 0 points.
Exactly.
So the fact that Jeremy Swayman helped us get into a game where it was just tied and not a deficit, honestly, it's all Swayman. Because
Swayman is just so good. Like,
our goaltenders are God.
They really are.
I will worship them.
Lena Solmark pulled up Friday night and was like, I'm going to prove to these bitches yet again why I won the Vezina Trophy, because some people seem to doubt me.
And this is why I'm a Vezina Trophy winner. And then he popped pussy.
The fact that he had to do that again is crazy. The fact that people actually helping him. There's this kid in my class that was literally talking to me. He said the words, Omar sucks. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I was talking to him. I was like, are you dead ass?
Are you serious? And
are you
then
actually for real?
We're also gonna bring back something Monty said after the game on Friday. He said this was our most impressive win yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say in like a traditional sense it was our most impressive win, but I will say it was our most impressive win that we had to fucking like hardcore. We fought back, and every time we've lost, we have not fought back. We let them get the lead, and we got ourselves down, and we didn't fucking fight back.
We just laid back and let them take the win. We played with like the last goal, low-rise goal, like pretty much from like the time that the Islanders scored their last goal to when we won. We actually played with desperation. You can actually see people taking shots, which is
we weren't just passing the fucking puck like it was a hot potato.
I literally, why don't we play with desperation? Why do we only play with desperation?
Because we were so used to last year just winning every fucking game. And so now that we actually have to work at it, they're like, what do we do?
How do we play hockey? Like it, though, because I like that we have to work for our win.
I like that we're learning that we have to work now rather than at playoffs again.
Because that sucked. Because I could tell, you know, when you watch the Bruins your whole life, you know that you know them. And you know that come playoff time, they become invisible. And so going into the playoffs, finding out that we were gonna play the Panthers was not fun. And
because the Panthers were on a little bit of a hot streak towards the end.
Knew. And you know, the Bruins weren't as good as their record showed. And
no. They fell apart in the playoffs, like always.
They always do. As they always do. What a choke job. I mean, seriously.
Like, I'm so for real.
Like, it's so bad. Like, it was just obvious that it was coming. We were hurt. We were hurting.
There were so many injured players.
Bergeron was never going to be the same after that injury. He was not going to be the same. It was not going to.
Yeah. So I would much rather us go through all this shit that we had to do in the playoffs last year now. Yeah. Because maybe if we go through all this shit now, we'll learn how to actually fucking play. Like, we need to win games.
I hate the mentality that we had last year, which was just keep doing what we've always been doing. You know, because they could just win. They could literally just win. We had offensive bombs. Okay, we had so
we
many.
like we
offensive-
did not
Our
have to
defense were
worry.
scoring more than.
Yeah. We
Like,
did not have to worry about our defense as much because we had such great offense. But now that our offense is invisible, it shows how bad our defense was, and it shows that our fucking goalies are the only thing saving us right now.
exactly. They bail us out, which is like scary too, because it's like, okay, we're gonna let them. We're just gonna rely on them. We can't do that because that's how you lose playoffs. Because at the end of the day, the regular season does not matter because you get to the playoffs and you're back to zero.
It does not matter. Like, it matters until you secure a playoff spot.
Exactly.
And then after that,
this is
you need to learn how to fucking play like you're playing in the playoffs.
You need to up your game, and you need to be playoff ready. And they just were not playoff ready.
They were not.
All sense.
All right, guys. We're gonna move on to your guys' questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say we have less than 30 followers on our Twitter. I'd say we had 9 responses, so a third of our fan base actually responded. So I'll take that as a W.
You converted your old spam, your old second account into that account. So some of those followers probably care.
No, there were only like 3 followers on the spam account.
All right, never mind.
I never used it because I only I made it because that was when fucking Elon was limit rating everybody.
Oh my god!
And so I made a second account so that I could still like use Twitter after I was limit rated.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it really wasn't a spam account, really. It was like a legitimate backup. Anyway, back to questions. Okay, so the first question.
Let me preface this. I have no clue what any of these are. This bitch refused to tell me any of it. So I'm going into this blind with my cookie and a dream. All right.
I just feel like it'll be more fun if you have no idea.
All right.
You don't get to think about answers to the questions beforehand. You're like.
That's true. All right.
Okay. So this first one isn't fully hockey related. It's more like this podcast related. Mm-hmm. It was an anonymous person. They didn't put like their name or anything. They just said, "What is your goal with this project? Greetings from Argentina."
Greetings from Argentina. Okay.
All the way from Argentina. Slay.
Argentina, hi.
Okay, so I think honestly, we were just like, we have such good hockey conversations over FaceTime.
That's what people hear.
And we were like, what if we just let the whole world hear them?
Okay. Not to toot my own horn, but we have pretty good personalities. I'm not gonna lie.
We're actually the funniest bitches alive.
No, it's true. Like, our backs hurt from carrying the weight of being the funniest people ever. So, like,
literally, like, the back pain that I have at the age of 16 is crazy, and it's literally from carrying everybody.
Yeah, no, exactly. Anyway. But yeah, it's really just for fun. There's really no, like, we're not trying to, like, make money or anything off of it. We're just, we don't know what we're doing.
If we do make money, which is a very low chance, honestly, we're just doing this for fun. And honestly, that our small little Twitter friends can like listen to us, I guess.
I just want our friends to listen to us. I don't even care who listens to us. I just want to know that like some of our friends.
Yeah.
Like my Pookie.
Like obviously we were joking around the other night about like, oh, if this gets big, we're gonna have all these fucking NHL players.
We were planning out what conversations we would have with which Bruins.
Yeah, but like the chances of that actually happening are slim to none. So
mostly none.
Yeah. Okay, I do not have these questions in the order at which I'm gonna read them off. They're just in random order, so I'm trying to like pick at what ones we're gonna do next.
Do the tame ones first.
Yeah, I'm gonna get towards the non-tame ones towards the end.
And they were unhinged ones.
The next question is also from someone anonymous.
Right.
It was favorite sway moment of 2023 and favorite leanest moment of 2023. Okay, so we're gonna start with the sway moment, and I think we can both agree it was versus the Canadians.
Montreal scrum.
That was.
No, but in all seriousness, okay, this is not me being my little sway puck bunny self, okay?
This is not us just being a
Serious.
slut. Genuinely, that was the like most
The sway moment. No, but listen, okay? From like an actual standpoint, okay? It is so good to be a goalie and play with an edge.
yeah.
Because you do not want to be pushed around as a goalie, and he doesn't let that happen. And I really like that for him.
Like he is cocky, but in like the best sense.
And he's really young. So it's really good to establish that now. Because you don't want to get pushed around. You don't want to get pushed around. And it's really good.
Because then that tells everybody else in the league that you're not to be fucked with and that you are that bitch. None of you guys saw that, but Rachel made a face.
But yeah. And I really liked it. I was just like, oh my god. And like I was watching with his parents and we were all just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like when I saw all that going down, I was like, oh my god. Like first off, hello, but second off, hello?
It was completely unexpected.
Like I did not expect it because he's usually this like well composed person. And then after that happened, he has been a cocky little slut.
Jeremy Slayman.
Because when we fucking played the New York Devils, New York,
New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey Devils. We were talking. I almost said New York Rangers, but we were talking about New York teams.
Are we gonna talk about the holiday?
Yeah, when he fucking saved the puck in his glove and then shoved it in Hollow's face.
Throwed it to Hollow.
Look at like.
I would love to know if he actually said something to him.
Like that is such a cocky move. And then against the Rangers, when Rangers, when he fucking saved things and then went up in the other guy's face and was smirking and smiling, I'm like,
push someone out of the crease.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like, don't let people in your crease. That's your crease.
Yeah.
And Linus.
Like he's grown this confidence in his game this year. I love it. Favorite Linus moment of 2023? I'm gonna be so for real. This save Friday night.
The save
that led to the geeky. Because, like, yes, he's been fucking phenomenal, but honestly, that was the most impressive shit I've ever seen.
No, that was crazy. Like, he stuck his leg out too. Like that he had intentions of saving it, and he actually did it.
Like, he made 2 saves, and the second one was so like both of them were impressive. The second one was crazy.
And Swayman did something similar too last night.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they both just
they're great.
Our goaltenders.
My favorite Linus moment is the goalie goal though. From this year.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was 2023.
It was February. It's 2023. If we're talking season though,
if I'm not, I was thinking more this season, but if we're going, I guess it just says 2023.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't say
so definitely the fucking goalie goal.
Goalie goal, kick save.
Goalie goal solos. Like a goalie goal, you're kidding me. I watched a goalie goal happen.
And the fact that I got to listen to whatever people will say about him, Jack Edwards call that is just great.
The odds on
jumping
scores an empty net goal.
Oh my god. And Quinn Hughes just so pissed.
Quinn Hughes is so pissed.
Love to see it. Alright, next question.
Okay. This one is from Boss Bruins HC, aka Lauren.
Hey, Queen.
I love you, Lauren. She said, congrats on the podcast. Who is your fave and least fave player not on the Bruins?
Not on the Bruins.
That's the first question. And then the second question was, should the Bruins be worried about their lack of offense and relying on their goalies?
All right.
We've gotten into the second question. Yes.
Yeah. Second question yes, we should be worried. We've talked about that.
Because the goalies cannot stand on their heads forever. They're going to hit a wall at some point, like we did during the playoffs.
Yep.
And we're going to fail.
Yep.
But the first question, do you want to...
Can I go first?
Answer first?
This is going to be so fucking explosive. Okay.
I wonder what yours is.
I wonder what Rachel's going to say.
Guys, this is a trigger warning.
This is a trigger warning for all
because I know the answer and I'm repulsed.
Skip if you don't want to hear it. Okay. So my favorite non-Bruins player is Matthew Tkachuk. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I love you, Cookie. I'm sorry. He's my little rat. Okay. Not the rat. That's Brad. But he is a rat. I love him. He's misunderstood.
He's a fucking rat and not in a good way.
He's misunderstood, M. No, going back to the first question, my goal with this podcast is to convert M to Matthew Kachukism.
It's not happening. I'm wagging my finger right now for all of you.
But I love him, okay? And my least favorite? Jeez, there's too many. Kane? Probably.
Solid. Evander Kane or Patrick Kane?
I don't really think I need to say that. I don't really think I need to say that.
Well, both of them are terrible.
Both are terrible, but Patrick.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Okay, so my fave non-Bruin, I was thinking about this. It was between two Sabres players, obviously.
I think I already know.
It was between Devin Levi, my Pookie goalie, and Jeff Skinner. And in the end, I had to go with Jeff Skinner. The personality on the guy, the Between Two Stalls videos, the What Chaos podcast episode recently that had him on it, it was so good. I love Jeff Skinner. And Breaking Free Integral song, sign me up.
I will not be judging you for that. Because
like, he's my least favorite player. Honestly, Jordan Binnington.
Oh, that's a good one. I hate that little fucking.
Which, Lauren, it's interesting that you commented that because you're actually technically married to Jordan Binnington. Okay.
All right. It's a good one though.
They should have let fucking Marc-Andre Fleury flatten his ass last year.
Oh my god, I love him. I love him.
Okay, so this next one is from Bex at ITD Bruins on Twitter. I love Bex. All right, their question is, do we find the post-game performance graphs from hockey stat cards to be conducive to the way we watch hockey, or do we think some of it's a bunch of BS?
I think it's BS.
I do think it's BS because the other day when Lindholm was at the very bottom by that large of a margin, he was not that bad that game.
He had a better game than normal.
Yeah. And like, there was no way that he did that bad.
Some games, shelf black your ears. Some games he was shit, and he was at the top.
Like,
it's bullshit.
Okay, so I was thinking about this question. I think it would be better, instead of doing them post every single game, if we did a monthly recap for the team.
I think that's
because I think that's going, because every player is going to have bad games.
Yeah.
I think we should do it overall monthly or like weekly, but I think monthly is better because it's a wider range.
Just group stuff together.
Because that will give us a bigger picture idea of how these players are actually playing.
Yeah, I think the productivity over a month-long span is a lot more, what's the word?
I don't know what word.
A lot more like.
It's just better.
It's just better. Yeah, I can't think, but it's just better. It's more helpful. It's more accurate to how the players are actually playing, and you can get a better look at that.
Yeah.
Rather than just they had it bad.
Yeah. This next question is another anonymous question. It is, can we please chit chat about Reeves falling down the stairs and his one-sided feud with Marshy? Because it's so funny.
This man is a fucking loser. Like,
Reeves is such a fucking ass.
They didn't even react to him falling.
The video of him falling, I cackled so loud at.
I want that tattooed on my eyelids.
Like, literally in the back of my eyelids, so every time I close my eyes, I see him fucking just fall.
Plummet
so
down.
Fast. Plummet. It was so funny.
So funny. Like,
but like,
so
also
good.
Genuinely, why do you have stairs right there?
No, I know that's like really stupid, but I'm just glad they're there because he fell.
I'm just glad they're there because Reeves fell down them.
Exactly.
Also, his one-sided feud with Marshy is so embarrassing for him.
So fucking funny.
Because
and Marshy's comments are hilarious.
Marshy does not give a fuck about Reeves.
Exactly.
Marshy lives rent-free in Reeves' head.
It's so good.
Marshy would fight that bitch in a heartbeat, but Reeves is a little fucking pussy and won't do shit.
He knows he's gonna get absolutely pummeled by Martian.
Pummeled. He will get pummeled by anybody.
Exactly, because he's a little.
Fucking, I think Patra would pummel that bitch. Imagine Patra fighting.
No, I can't. That little boy is not getting in a fight. And if he did, I'm sorry, he'd get taken down. Unless it was Reeves. Unless it was Reeves. He'd bring out this beast inside of him.
Like, yeah, he's gotten like a little feisty sometimes in these scrums, but it's never been like a fight.
He's not trying to get into a fight.
Yeah.
I think he knows better than that. He can't even. Okay, listen, I love him. He can't even keep the puck on his stick.
So real though.
How is he gonna fight a guy that's like twice his age?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. The next question is from our favorite Rob at Bergeron's bitch on Twitter. We love Rob.
Rob.
Okay. He said to talk about how hockey Twitter is both amazing and awful. This is where I said we're going to talk about Martian for Lady Bing.
Oh, Martian for Lady Bing.
Okay. So it's amazing because honestly, we would never have met if it wasn't for hockey Twitter.
We met on hockey Twitter. We met a while ago, actually, but we didn't become close until someone entered.
Someone who shall not be named, actually. But that happened, and then we were like, for lifers, my fingers are crossed right now.
Yeah.
Besties.
Real.
So without hockey Twitter, we wouldn't have met. We wouldn't have had this podcast.
And yeah, but it's just it gets you really like from a different standpoint, from like friends or whatever. Yeah, but for me, hockey Twitter is so amazing because it really engrosses you in the sport. Because you can follow everything. You will know all of the news right as it comes out.
You will know everything about every player.
You follow all the reporters, you're gonna know everything.
Yeah. Right. And like this isn't even like a Bruins Twitter thing only. Because like obviously the majority of the people on my timeline are Bruins Twitter. Mm-hmm. But I also follow so many mutuals from like different teams. And I learned so much about their team as well.
I just know their stats in the sport. You just know about the sport, and it's so good. If you are someone that really does enjoy the sport. Now, if you are a fuck buddy, just stick to your TikTok. Just stick to your TikTok and your fucking
stick to your TikTok and icebreaker.
And your icebreaker. Just stick to it because Twitter is for like the people that actually want to be.
Like this is gonna be crazy for some of you guys. I have only been a hockey fan for a little over a year now, and you wouldn't know that based on how I mean, you're from
Indiana. Like, I gotta give you like leeway here. Like, you don't really
have. There's not a whole lot of hockey.
You have your options are the Blue Jackets and the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
well, good choice. So, the best team.
Yeah, so I actually became a Bruins fan.
Naturally, I had to pick the Bruins.
Naturally, so that little chart that came out a few weeks ago about like the most searched teams in every state.
That was because of you.
Indiana being a Bruins state was definitely my fault.
That was all you.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But the awful part of it.
Yeah. Martian for Lady Bing.
Martian for Lady Bing, and like Cassian is the GOAT.
Oh my god.
This
bit, I'm telling you, a few months ago, he fucking blocked me because I was trolling in his I made one comment in his replies, and I ratioed him, and and he blocked me, and then he unblocked me like a month ago and started telling me to follow him back. He like followed me and then kept telling me to follow him back, and I was like, no, and he was like, oh, you're such a troll. I was like, what?
But anyways, at this point, is Martian for Lady Bing even a fucking Bruins fan?
I don't think so.
Because I don't think I've seen him post a singular positive tweet about the Bruins in ever.
Sounds like Mike Felger. Like, does he? Is this Mike Felger?
Like the most recent one, he was saying that Tripp could never win a fight,
and then he quote retweeted it with like that video.
Everyone fucking quote retweeted him, and then there was also the whole thing about Geeky being compared to
2.
Long-haired, greasy, fucking rat that plays for the Leafs. I'm getting there. I don't know why I can't think. Tyler Bertuzzi.
I was waiting. I was like,
No, you wanna know what's fucking embarrassing? Is that I was trying to think about his name earlier too, and I did the exact same thing. And I don't know why I keep blanking on his name.
Because he's forgettable.
True. And
I don't like him.
he was trying to say, like, all this stuff. So, like, Martian for Lady Bing and fucking Martian's pet rat were having this whole
Bertuzzi is a fucking
fraud.
He's a bust. I'm sorry. That man wanted so much money. He's never played a full season in the NHL. Okay?
Yeah.
So Tony
He was only good because he was lined with fucking Pasta and Pavel Zacha.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're gonna look good with them.
Exactly. But I mean, listen, I hate the Leafs as much as the next guy, but they have good players.
They do have some good players.
So, I mean, they have the same problem as us. That's why we were able to beat them. That's why we were able to beat them, because they have the same problem as us.
Yeah. Like, Mitch Marner's good. Fuck you, Austin Matthews, but you gotta admit he's a talented person.
Exactly.
Like, William Nylander, however the fuck you say his last name. Nylander. I love him. My little Swedish boy.
Take the subway to the game.
What an icon.
But anyway, back to Bruins Twitter is weird because you have the people like that are just like spewing the craziest shit, and like
I think they're just literally saying shit for interactions at this point. Oh, and Jan.
Oh, Jan!
We can't not
forget Jan.
Oh my god!
I think Jan is the perfect example of why Bruins Twitter is awesome and awful. Because she's awful, but we're all brought together because of her. Because you can literally say a tweet, star out every single letter, and everyone will know you're talking about Jan.
Literally, I literally quote tweeted, because I literally posted a photo of my sign for the game in December. And I said, oh my god, guys, I finished the sign. You know who decided to be in my replies? About Jake DeBrusk? Jan. You want to guess who my poster was for? Because it was not for Jake DeBrusk. It was for Jeremy Swayman. This post had nothing to do with Jake DeBrusk, and she had to insert herself into it.
She has never... Okay, she follows me, and she likes my tweets sometimes, and she retweets my tweets sometimes, but she's never been up in my comments about Jake DeBrusk, and I've tweeted about Jake DeBrusk.
She's been up in my comments about Jake DeBrusk. She's been in my DMs about Jake DeBrusk.
I think I tweeted that I don't like her, and she just, like, backed off.
Like, genuinely... she is...
Jan is something.
Jan is something. I remember I talked about... I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this game in Jan. Like, January, I shortened it to Jan, and everyone in the fucking group chat thought I was talking about Jan. So I stopped shortening January to Jan.
Jan. But yeah, that's good. And, you know, trailing back once more to the awesome part, it really is good. You know, I grew up in Massachusetts. I grew up a Bruins fan. I've been playing since like 2016. But you know, I was really young, so I didn't get a lot of it. You know, you get it, but like you don't grasp it fully.
Yeah, like you're a little blurry on certain things.
Yeah. So I mean, I would watch them like here and there, and I loved the Bruins. In 2019, I watched. Unfortunately, I watched that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that was terrible. But then, like last season, I finally got into Bruins Twitter, which is what got me so hooked on everything, because there was just a whole community. Like I could just talk about everyone to everyone, and it was hockey too. It's hockey Twitter, but Bruins Twitter is so close knit. Like everyone just knows each other.
Like everyone knows each other. I fucking said Rob, and we all were like,
Rob! I love Rob!
I love Rob.
But thank you for the question, Rob. I love you.
Okay, these next few questions
are
gonna be interesting. The first one is not as interesting.
Alright.
Because I've tried to tell this bitch, not a bitch, I'm just using bitch in an affectionate way. I tried to tell this person multiple times that this is not true.
Okay.
That where they found this information is long gone.
Okay.
But they keep persisting. So at Shadowblock's game said, Jeremy Swayman has a girlfriend. What are you gonna do about it?
This is not
Once again, It is not true. Him and Tori
Him and Tori have been out.
Yeah. Him and Tori are long gone.
They're done.
But the day that he does get a girlfriend, I will be putting a bullet through my skull.
I will not be here. The podcast will be over.
The podcast will abruptly end because both of us will actually be dead. Okay.
I'll be upset. But, you know, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I didn't have a chance.
Like, we're 16-year-olds. We know we don't have a chance. But it's the delusions.
Yeah, exactly.
But we know realistically we're not going to actually get with him.
Even then, do I look like I'm
Do I look
for him?
Like
I'm not.
Do I look like I could get with an NHL player? Let's be for real.
Let alone Jeremy Swayman. Like, if I was gonna get one, it would be like fucking Bennington.
Oh, he's the prettiest person I've ever seen.
I know.
Okay, this next question also doesn't have an at, but they did put in the.
Is this the one where you said we'll know?
No, this one is my sister.
Oh.
Her question was, what makes you feral enough to be with child?
Jeremy Swayman.
Jeremy Swayman, obviously. But for those of you who don't know,
know that,
probably gonna be the majority of you.
Yeah.
I sent my sister a video of Brad Marchand winking, and she just texted back, "That's it. I'm with child."
So we've been saying that.
Me and Rachel have been saying that actually nonstop.
It's so funny.
Along with another statement, but that statement came from Rachel, and I don't know if we should say that in the podcast or not.
Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't say that one.
We're probably not.
Pardon me. We will not be saying that one.
We will not be saying the rest of that one. Okay.
Yeah.
This next question is the last question, and they also did not put their name, but once I say it, you will know what it is, and I'll actually tell you what I put as to who it is afterwards.
Okay.
So I don't even want to say this question out loud. Their question is, what do you guys think is Jacob Lauko's longest edging streak? So shelf. My note was definitely just shelf.
Not shelf.
So that's actually the last. I mean, we're definitely gonna be talking about things after these questions, but to leave the questions off on that is something.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't think I can answer that question.
Question, Shelf.
Great question, Shelf, but I will not be answering.
Thank you, but
Thank you, but no.
Thank you.
Okay, so another thing that happened recently, we've been talking about the Blues quite a lot, so we'll bring this up, is Jordan Kyrou, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Kyrou, a couple days ago, was asked about the firing of his coach, and he just said that he didn't have a comment on it, which is a very valid response. Many people have said that before. Like, it's not out of the ordinary. And Blues fans decided to boo him every time that he would touch the puck.
It's just disgusting.
Like, absolutely fucking vile.
It's just
and then
so
2 days later, he plays fucking incredibly. And everyone in the stands is cheering. And then Kyrou gets interviewed, and they're like, oh, you hear all these cheers. He's like, oh, I love playing in the stadium. I love all the fans and all that stuff. I'm like, how two-faced are your fans? For 48 hours ago, you were getting booed. You were crying, and like you were getting booed so bad. And then they were like, oh, now we feel bad after doing it.
I was crying. I felt so
bad for him.
Like, I genuinely felt so bad. Wait, actually, he posted on his story. Like,
oh my god. He posted something about it on his story?
Yeah,
I have not seen this.
on his story today because I follow him. He posted this picture. Wait. He posted this picture with a heart. Oh my god, why is the exposure so high? This picture with a heart. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
just like he just loves it.
He
just
loves
it. And I just feel so bad for him.
he loves playing for the Blues so much, and for the fan base to do that to him is so like disheartening.
It's just so vile. I feel so bad.
I feel absolutely terrible.
Like
why?
Literally.
Why? Genuinely, I do not understand how that response elicits booing.
Exactly.
It's like I think every fucking NHL player has responded that they don't want to answer a question, and some of them have answered it way fucking ruder. Jack Hughes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've answered this question 5 times already today, and you're the last person I'm gonna answer.
He didn't even fucking answer it.
Well, he was saying like you. I think he wasn't saying you're the last person I'm gonna answer, and like the last on the list. He was saying like you would be the last person I would want to fucking answer that to. I'm like, how rude are you?
He's so. They won the game. They won the game. He got the game winning goal. He has no reason to be acting like such a nasty bitch.
Like a Devils fan that was on my timeline quote tweeted the tweet about it and was like, "Oh, I'm assuming we lost then."
Like,
no, you won the game and he scored the game-winning goal, and you're that fucking pissy. Sorry to all my Jack Hughes girlies, but not really.
You're a Devils fan and you don't even know if you lost. But anyway, like it's just so every clip I see of him, I swear to God, he's just being rude.
Like that's not the first time that he's been rude.
Exactly, he's always rude. Especially
the only person that I'll say is funny when the rude is fucking Leon Draisaitl.
Oh my god, I love him.
Because in the beginning, when the Oilers in the beginning of the season, when they were like so fucking terrible, he was so pissy all the time.
Yeah, but you know what? He has a reason to be
like he was losing so bad, and he wasn't used to it because you have fucking Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid on your team. Why are you losing?
But this is just proof that the stars don't make your team. Your team makes your team.
Yeah.
You can have.
And when you don't have goaltending, your team is nothing.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't matter how many fucking goals you score. If you don't have goaltending, the other team will always score more.
Hockey truly is a team sport. You need to have a well-rounded team in order to.
Yeah.
You can't just have.
Because when you don't, it's so obvious.
It's just you can't have a defense but no offense. But you can't have an offense with no defense, and you can't have no goaltending, but you also can't just rely on your goaltending. Bruins take notes. At this point, Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark should just start like standing in the net and not moving. Just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna stand here until you guys fucking do something.
I'm gonna actually become an average goaltender until you guys get your shit together.
Did you see when the Panthers played the Senators? Did you see the Senators goalie? He let them get the puck. He didn't even go behind the net. He
was like, "Fuck you."
He slammed his stick, and he was like,
"He slammed his stick."
He put his arm down.
Somebody
like, you do it. And they almost got beat to the puck.
Like, that's so embarrassing for you.
They need to start. Swayman and Ullmark need to start doing that.
Oh my god! Also, speaking of more goalies, Kochetkov, fucking
oh my god,
checking. Chuck, that was iconic.
Oh my god, that was so funny. He was so pissed.
I hate the Canes, but he's such a pookie.
I hate the Canes, yeah.
And in other words, their other goalie, Ranta, got put on waivers.
I saw that. I was like, oh.
Oop.
Oh. Well.
You know who else got him put on waivers? Zaboral.
But that was his request because they won't fucking call him up.
Yeah. He cleared waivers though, right? I think he cleared.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you're pulling up all these other players but will not pull up Zebo,
who has all this experience too,
and the people they choose to pull up.
Yes.
Boggles my mind.
Come on. Be for real, Montgomery. Humpty Dumpty. Come on.
Let's be so for real. Cause fucking that bitch, last name starts with an M. He's been going crazy down in Providence.
Oh, yeah.
Markelov or something, I don't fucking know.
Forget his name. But like, I think it does have to do with, your play. I think that just because you're doing good at Providence doesn't mean that you're going to bode well in the NHL.
Yeah.
I don't think that is discredited, but the players that you call up are the players that are not doing well in the NHL. I.e. Brown! Stop calling up Brown!
Stop playing him. They has to be fucking paying them.
At least Mitchell isn't like the worst ever.
Like, genuinely, Brown has to be paying them at this point for him to consistently be getting center.
Like, Brown needs to, like, someone needs to go in and just destroy all of his equipment so he can't play.
Fucking just tear it to shreds.
Like, I think Swayman or Omar needs to be like, oopsies, and accidentally, like, trip him, like, into the boards and he gets hurt. But not seriously hurt, but hurt enough that he can't play.
All jokes. We're not fucking serious.
What?
All jokes. No,
we're not serious. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't not like him. He just sucks. He just shouldn't be playing. Actually, this is a good topic. Speaking of not playing, I think Potter should be sent down for the championships.
I agree that he should go down.
I love Potter to death, but he needs some confidence back. I think he's lost a lot of confidence.
Because he was really good in the beginning of the season, and then he's just slowly been losing his confidence. He's been being benched in the third period.
He's also tired. He's never played in the NHL before.
Yeah.
It's a lot
I feel
OHL.
I feel like he definitely needs a bit of a break from the NHL and let him go to World Juniors, play for Canada.
He's playing against people that are his age and not like almost twice his age.
Yeah.
I just think he needs the confidence. I think he needs to work on his biggest problem, which is he gets knocked off the puck too easily. And it's not just his error, but it's also the fact that these guys are gonna target him. They're way older than him and they know that they can do
They know he's an easy target.
He needs to know when to make plays, when to not make plays. And so
I feel like sending him to World Juniors and also maybe even sending him to the AHL.
Yeah. I think a month in Providence would do wonders for him. It would get him.
Like, it's the same situation that needs to happen with the goaltending in Buffalo. I know it's a fucking Bruins podcast, but I'm going to talk about the Sabres.
We can still talk about other teams.
Yeah. Because we're not even going to try and beat the Bruins podcast allegations.
I mean, it's called Weymouthers.
Oh boy. Bro, if I get a puck from Charlie Coyle, guys, I'm going to a game on January 2nd. And I'm making my poster for Charlie Coyle. I'm just going to tell him my name to podcast.
I wish they could send him to the AHL, but he's 19.
Anyways, back to the whole thing. Because Levi needs to go to the AHL for longer. Yes, he's been doing great since he got called up. Because he got put down there. But you cannot go straight to the NHL.
Exactly. It's just bad.
It's not going to work.
Actually, so call me. But anyway, Patra. I think the whole benching situation is really interesting, and I think that the way that different people are reacting to it on Bruins Twitter is interesting to see the discourse, because I love him. He's literally like top 3 like favorite Bruins players. I love him, but he needs some work, and not a lot. It's just these little areas that are.
He just needs to sharpen up his game.
Exactly.
But I don't think that, like, it's one thing to, like, pull him from the game in general, but to bench him just in the third period, especially on the day that Zaka was injured,
Yeah, you're already down a center.
You're down a center and you're gonna bench another center.
When he when Montgomery said, um, they get paid to win games and he's gonna put out
It
play.
was a very Cassidy-esque
It was a
statement.
very Cassius statement. And I think that he didn't mean it in that way. I just think he worded it poorly.
I do think
I
he
think
was.
he meant it from a standpoint of like, we I just wanted to put my best players forward.
Yeah.
Which that sounds like a more Montgomery thing. I don't think he meant it in a way like Patra's not going to win us a game because he
Yeah.
works a lot with Patra during practice. He does a lot of one-on-one. He really likes him and he wants to keep him. So I don't think
Yeah.
he meant it in a Cassidy way. I just think it came off that way, the way that he
It,
said
it
it.
it definitely came off in a Cassidy way, and especially when just the quote is getting spread around and
Exactly.
not him actually saying it,
Exactly.
because everyone is going to read it in whatever tone they want to interpret it in.
That's why I
So
don't
him saying we
just
get paid to win games could be interpreted like,
Cassidy. Which like Cassidy is another weird discourse on
yeah.
Bruins Twitter too. Because, a lot of people hate him, a lot of people don't. And
I feel as though I can't speak on this subject
yeah, I
because
can't.
I never experienced Bruce
I
Cassidy,
can.
but from what I've heard, his messaging just stopped working for the
Yeah,
Bruins.
I
And
think
his harsh attitude, like Monty, we needed that positive guy who is willing to work with these younger people
I think
and
that was
bring a whole fresh attitude.
I think it was Cassidy's biggest issue was just that. Like for me, okay, I saw Cassidy. I didn't watch every single game or follow everything to a T, but I did. I know enough about him, and I don't love him, but I don't think he was the worst thing that ever happened to the Bruins. Like some people,
No, I mean, he
he
got us
he was
to the
really
Stanley
tough.
Cup Finals.
He got us to the final, and I think I don't even think that was him. I think our loss in that final was completely on us. We deserved
Yeah.
it. We should not have won because we played like we were not competing to win a cup. And, the Blues shouldn't have been winning a cup. But gave it to them. We just sucked. And I don't think that was really even a coaching error. I just think that was
But yeah, but
thing.
you cannot discredit Cassidy as being a
Exactly.
bad coach because he's not.
Yeah.
Because he went to the Knights and he was exactly what the Knights needed. They
Exactly.
needed this tough coach that was going to get them in check. And you know what happened? He won a Stanley Cup.
And good for him. I don't love the guy, but good for him. I don't like
Good
that.
for
I
him.
hate the Knights. But, gotta give credit where it's due. But he was really tough. And I think that right now the Bruins need to be screamed at because what are they doing? But I don't think that Cassidy's biggest error, like I was saying, was the rookies. He did not know how to handle the rookies. He would just bench them, he would scratch them, he wouldn't give them a chance. And I know he had a lot of beef with DeBrusk. I don't know the full extent of it, but I know that DeBrusk was very immature. Cassidy was not the only one at fault here. DeBrusk was very and I think we should talk about DeBrusk because that's a whole different discourse. But
yeah,
Cassidy first. He just he wouldn't give them a chance. He in the playoffs he wouldn't play Swayman because he was too young.
Yeah,
which I get, but Rask was hurt, and
yes.
he was not doing the thing.
He was not doing what needed to be done,
and
it was clear.
And it was just, his time was up. His time was up. The team was not going to listen to him anymore.
They stopped responding to his coaching style, and they needed something completely different, and that's what Monty was.
Exactly. And I think that if Cassidy had the team that we have now, I would go as far to say that he could probably lead us to a cup. I think his coaching style would work now. Especially because the goaltending that we do now, he did not have that. I'm a Rask anti. I'm sorry. I am not a fan of Tuukka Rask. I love him, but I'm not a big fan of his goaltending. And I will say that.
And I'm also going to get into a different story. it's still related. When we had Cassidy, we also had these great strong leader veterans, and even last year we had these great strong leader veterans.
Exactly. We don't have
We
that.
have Jesus Christ. We have Chara, we had Berkey, we had Krejci, and then last year we had Nick Foligno.
Yeah, Nick. Okay, I can't even talk about him. I can't.
And all those people had such strong voices in the locker rooms that were such calm and gentle players to these rookies, and they took them under their wing, and they did these great things. And without Foligno and without Berkey, our strongest veterans right now are Brad Marchand, which love him to death, but he's not the same kind of captain that Chara and Berkey were. And then we have...
he should be the captain. No one's saying he shouldn't be. But he's just not...
He's not the same kind of captain.
He's just not... Nobody's Berkey. Nobody's Chara.
And we have... And our next runner-up, in my opinion, is Charlie McAvoy. And in my mind, he is not a veteran.
Yeah.
Like, you should not... He's a middle of the run guy. He's not a rookie by any means, but I wouldn't personally call him a veteran.
No, and he's young.
The fact that we don't have... I mean, we have Shattenkirk as a veteran player.
Yeah.
But I feel as though he does not bring the same kind of leadership
It's not
that Bergeron and Nick Foligno did, because Nick Foligno was a captain with the Blue Jackets.
Trigger
warning, Blue Jackets mentioned. And so he was this great leader, and he was even on the Bruins. Even if he wasn't a captain, he still took on that captain role, because that's what he was. That's what he was. He was a captain.
And that's why he went to the Blackhawks for Bedard.
Yeah, like
Bedard mentioned.
Bedard mentioned.
Even when he can't escape Bedard.
Guys, oh no, we're just like TNT, guys.
ESPN, TNT. No, but yeah. And I think this. We lost a lot with Lucic. He was gonna be that guy.
He was going to be that guy.
He was. But let's just not even get into any of that. But he was, before that, in a nutshell, exactly what we needed.
He was supposed to be one of these. He brought
physicality to the game. He was a veteran. He had that way about him. He would take people under his wing. He was on the cup team, and then
he went and fucked it.
And then that happened. But that's a big loss.
Yeah,
we already lost Foligno, and now his quote replacement is not coming back. So now we have Marchand. Basically, we have Marchand.
We have Marchand.
I love him, but he's not that.
And you can't just have one big veteran leader, because Shattenkirk is a veteran player, but he is not.
He's a veteran leader.
That does not mean he's a veteran leader, in my opinion.
He's adorable. He's so cute, but he's
so cute. I follow his wife on Instagram. All the time she posts about the kids, it's so cute.
So cute. I wish we had another leadership role, and I think we need.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest thing, I think, with the Bruins, is that we don't have a number one center as far as play. Getting out of the locker room, we don't have a number one center. I love Zacha, but he's not a number one center.
I would not call him our number one center. I would like to call Charlie Coyle a number one center before I would call Zacha a number one center.
And even he's not. And
neither of them are.
I think keep Geeky on center, move Zacha back to the wing when he comes back.
Geeky's play with Zacha, in the absence of Zacha, has been incredible.
He has been so good, and I think it's a case of being chronically stuck on the third and fourth line.
Yeah.
You can't produce if you're just stuck down there with barely any ice time.
Yeah, the third and fourth liners are even if you shouldn't be a third and fourth liner, you can never show your skills like you can on those higher up lines.
Exactly. and you're playing with people that already display that.
Yes.
And I think Geeky has been a perfect example of someone that surprised everyone because
Yes.
I saw him on the first line center and I was like, oh.
I was a little scared, but
I was like, all right, let's see what he does. And hey, this is what
he did it.
I'm an advocate. I don't think you should be switching up the lines every game like he does. I think that's crazy, but I think that
Yeah,
the lines can be a good thing. I think that playing around with different pairs of people is a good thing.
When Trent centered and got a chance at playing center because he's a center.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, don't separate him and Coyle, but also like you haven't even explored Trent Frederick.
You have to try stuff. You can't just. I think he needs to give them a little bit more time sometimes with each other to see, because they're going to have chemistry in the first game.
I feel like him changing the lines every single game does not give them a chance to get chemistry.
No, I mean, you don't just, you don't have a situation of like clicking right away every time. You need to take time.
Not everyone is Tyler Bertuzzi with David Pastrnak.
Yeah. And it's going to take, speaking of last year, Hathaway would be a good.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we could get him back if we wanted to.
I agree.
We need physicality. We just don't have it.
We need physicality, and Garney he was a physical player.
Yep. And
he scored, and he made plays.
People can.
I feel like the replacement to Garnet Hathaway was JVR.
Yeah.
In my head, those two are on a very similar field in my head.
JVR is good.
JVR was a very great addition.
He's a little slow.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's like 34.
I don't know why Shattenkirk's on the power play a lot. I don't really.
But, like,
he needs to move the puck, and they don't. But
JVR's going to be slow. He's one of the older guys.
Yeah. Which
is crazy to think about because I don't think. Like, in my head, he's not that old.
Yeah. But like, we're in a sticky situation, but we don't have a number one center, and we need that because we just don't. I mean, you had Patrice Bergeron.
like no number one center is going to replace
like
Patrice Bergeron, but we still don't have someone that's even like remotely close
to that.
Like, I think both Zacha and Coyle could be number two centers. We don't have a true number one center.
No, we don't. And like the thing is, you had Bergeron. He was so him and even Krejci too were so underrated in that sense of like not everyone knew they were good.
Yeah.
But like you make defensive plays and you make things happen, and we don't do that.
Well, that's what happens when you lose 6-time Selke winner Patrice Bergeron.
But you need to take that initiative, and
And another place where it shows the loss of Patrice Bergeron is the fact that Pasta, Marshy, and Bergie used to be this heavenly line, and now without Bergeron, please never put Marshy and Pasta on a line.
Bergeron was essentially the glue of that line. You cannot have Marchand and Pastrnak on the same line. They like to play patty cake. Oh, I'm gonna give you the puck. No, I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back to you.
Yeah.
Stop.
I like.
He's always trying to do more. He cannot just put the puck on the net. He has a good shot, and it goes in most of the time. But he never shoots it. He never does it. He's always trying to do more, and he keeps turning the puck over consistently, and it's so frustrating.
That's a big problem within all of our lines. We just pass the puck.
But especially someone like him should not be doing that. Like, you are saying you're a captain. You are setting this example. You should not be doing that. You should not be doing that. This is what you were doing with Claude Julien. And you know what he did? He cut his ice time.
Yeah.
Send a message to the team. And that's where I think Montgomery needs to step it up. I think he needs to be harsher. I don't think, last year he didn't need to be like that because we just kept winning. And I think this
we had
initiative
thing is,
is be tougher on
he
them.
didn't need to be this voice of reason because we had these veteran players that were a voice of reason. And now we do not have those players, and Monty needs to fill that gap.
This is where the real test of Montgomery comes in.
Yes.
What are you gonna do now that we have to fight for the win?
Yeah.
And so far,
he's not been doing it.
Not looking too good. That can change.
But maybe once our players
we're healthy again. But we're not we keep getting hurt because we're not we just let ourselves get hurt. We let ourselves get pushed around.
Yeah.
Not physical.
The physicality
when we try to be,
physicality aspect is so absent.
When we try to be, we get misconducts and we get suspensions. Charlie, thanks a lot during my game, but like it's just and Forbert, dude, when are you not hurt? Like this man is always hurt. I mean, he's just a guy, but that's probably why.
It's just because he's just a random guy.
He's a random guy, but like trade. Okay, trading. We can't get a number one center unless we trade for it.
Yeah,
like this is where the heat, the controversy comes into the podcast. Is when we talk about trades.
Yeah.
All of my love for these players aside,
like,
you gotta step back and look at their play.
Yeah.
DeBrusque. Haley, block your ears.
Okay. Haley, block your ears. Is DeBrusque was so good last year, and this year is the end of his contract. So this should be his best year because he needs to prove himself to get re-signed.
And he's not.
And he's just not.
He's so good, but his problem is his inconsistency. He'll have one game where he's great, and then he's completely invisible.
Invisible the next.
He's just not consistent. He's not. It's frustrating to see from him because he's way better than that. Same with Frederick. He's wildly inconsistent. If he's not scoring, he's not there.
Yeah.
It's like it's frustrating to see. So I would
honestly,
trade Grizzly.
I don't care if these are your favorite players.
Exactly.
Because I love them all too, but we need to be serious here.
I'm just hearing that my fave's not getting traded anytime soon. But
like, my fave is actually Jeremy Swayman, and he's not leaving.
He's not leaving. He's the future.
If one of our goalies is leaving, it's gonna be home. I don't even want to utter the word.
Trade Hallmark is the last resort.
I think us getting rid of one of our goalies is the
detrimental,
stupidest idea ever.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's not good. Don't do that.
Because we rely on our goaltending. Why would we lose that?
I think last resort, if you absolutely have to do it, then trade him. But otherwise, just stick to your, trade Forbert. He doesn't do anything. He really doesn't. He's good on the PK sometimes, but otherwise, he is a solid member on the PK. But if you can't provide anything else, then we don't need you.
And I'll say it, Matt Grizzlick.
I know, I love him, but he needs to go. I'm sorry. He's just not doing it. And he could, but he's just not.
Yeah, I feel like all these players either need to prove themselves soon or it's not looking good for them.
I think the most you can get out of is DeBrusque.
Yeah.
He's just so inconsistent. It's really frustrating. Like, it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I feel like anyone else is pretty good.
Everyone else has their role and they're doing it well.
You got Pastrnak, he's inconsistent, but he's David Pastrnak. He's not going.
But he's David Pastrnak, and you're not trading David Pastrnak.
He's our guy. Martian's obviously not going anywhere. Coyle's not going anywhere. He's doing really.
It's the man from Weymouth. You can't get rid of him.
Lindholm. I need to see him get out of this rut because he's so much better than this. And I think there's got to be something going on with him. Like, it's not just him being bad. He's not a bad player. Something's going on with him. And I would hate to see him end up like this for the rest of his career because that would suck.
Yeah.
And I would say trade Lindholm.
Yeah.
Because what is he even doing here? If he's
He was
just
such a powerhouse last year.
he
And
was.
to see him performing like this year,
It's upsetting.
it's upsetting, yeah.
To say the least. Anyone else? McAvoy. He's McAvoy. He's gonna be here.
He's not going. I don't think they're gonna get rid of any of their new acquisitions this year.
No.
Like
no.
Shaddy, Geeky, JVR, everyone's
JVR,
good.
yeah. JVR, I think is
Solid.
he's solid. I think.
I
now.
would like to see, once Zaka's back, I would like to see a JVR Zaka Pasta line again, because that line was very good at the beginning of the season.
I just don't want to see Martian and Pasternak on the same line again. I don't want to see that.
I think Martian and DeBrusque pair well together.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that pushes Charlie Coyle down to 3C.
It's awkward. It's just, there's so many players that just don't fit, and that's the problem.
And one of those, I've said this before to Rachel, but none of you have heard my thoughts on this. One of those players is Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
And, like, yes, he's our captain, but the problem is we have all these pairs, and he doesn't fit with the pairs. Because we have Zaka and Pasta, then we have Charlie Coyle and Frederick.
Which are separated most of the time anyway, but if Frederick doesn't step up his game, he's not going to be a Bruin for much longer anyway, so maybe we won't have to but Coyle, this is the thing. Coyle produces on his own. Frederick needs Coyle to produce.
Yes.
And I think that's weird.
And I think that is very telling.
Yeah. And I think that it's like the same situation with Marchand and Pasternak need Bergeron to produce together.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's a game of patty cake with the puck. It's hot potato.
Yeah.
It's hot potato with everyone. Why Lindholm does not carry the puck. He just wants to get it right off his stick. He will not.
Like, as soon as that puck hits his stick, it is off.
And, like, it's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I think another person that has an awkward position is also Patra right now because of the fact that he's a rookie. But, like, it's not even that. It's just because of the fact that he's in that weird spot where he's, like, not really a top 2 center. He's not a bottom 2 center, but he also has his faults. This is where we play in with the send him back down.
This is where the developmental help. I don't think we're going to trade any of our rookies. If anything happens,
no. I mean, like,
he's
Beecher,
getting set.
I'd like to see Beecher get brought up to see what he can do.
Oh, I love Jody Beecher. Go Blue. Have to mention that. Go Blue.
Blue.
Go Blue, baby. Mason
Lohrei, I think, he's in that awkward position too. But
love Mason Lohrei. And when we're on the talk of colleges, fuck Ohio State.
Fuck Ohio State. I reiterate,
Mason, but fuck Ohio State.
I reiterate, go Blue.
Bro, I was... Okay, so Beecher scored at the Blue Jackets game.
Oh.
the notifications hit my phone blind. Okay. So guys, for those of you who don't know, I was at the Columbus Blue Jackets Bruins game.
First one.
The first one that we lost.
Yeah, that was the worst.
But one of the only people who scored was Johnny Beecher. And so I was saying go Blue quite a lot in the state of Ohio. I also yelled fuck Ohio State on the streets.
Real.
So and spreading the propaganda.
Good. And Matt Patra. So it was rookie night. They were like, what?
It was rookie night.
Since you bitches
it was so embarrassing.
Anything, let us do something. And they did.
They did.
Not that it mattered at that point, but
Bro, when Sway got pulled.
Patra looks so sad. Sway getting pulled.
That pissed me off more than anything. Because I saw Ollie. He had his, like, mask on his head. Because I was like, oh my god, I can see Ollie sitting on the bench. I'm going to take photos. And I was like, wait, why is his mask sitting on top of his head?
I saw the text from you because I obviously I knew that he was gone before anyone else did because you had texted me.
And then I was like, I said, Sway just went down the tunnel.
And I really don't think it really had to do with Sway. It was fully, the team just was absolutely abysmal that
And it did not send a message, though.
It didn't send a message. It should have, but it didn't. And I still don't. I think that Montgomery was doing somewhat of the right thing, trying to do that, trying to spark something.
Like, he was trying to send a message,
it didn't
but
work.
I don't think he went about it the right way.
Yeah.
Because Sway had only let in 2 goals. I don't think that the other 3 goals that Ole let in, I do not think Sway would have let those goals in. Because I was watching them. They were easily savable.
Yeah. At that point, it was just a full team.
Yeah.
They just were not it that night. And the Blue Jackets
were.
It was like their Stanley Cup, which go off because you just won your first playoff series a few years ago, so good for you. But
you popped off, Mookie. You're still like last.
Because we beat your asses next time. Good for you.
If they don't win on January 2nd.
And they lost the game after anyway, so.
They lost on December 3rd.
Oh well. But I have a newfound love for Adam Fantilli, Mr. Uncanny Valley.
Mr. Uncanny Valley.
Growing up in Toronto, rooting for the Bruins, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty...
Yeah, that's a slay on his part.
He's still Uncanny Valley. He still scares the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. His eyes...
Oh, I mean, I love him because...
Go Blue.
Image boy. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue. But he is terrifying to look at.
He is terrifying to look at, especially with the beard. I think the beard makes it scarier.
I like him with the beard more.
Stubble kind of scares me a little bit, though.
Because I remember, I think it was...
His voice is really weird. Like, why does he sound like that? He doesn't look like he should sound like that.
Yeah. I was watching, I think it was a Frozen 4 game. Like, right before the Frozen 4, like, tournament on my TV. And my sister came into the room. Fantilli was doing an interview. And she was like, who is that man? I said, Katie, he's 18. And she said, never mind.
Yeah, he's, I don't know. He's just a little scary. But, unfortunate that he is stuck on that team.
Yeah. I really thought that he was going to be a Duck, which isn't any better. But like, the fact that he is a Blue Jacket is fitting because of all the other UMich players. So, like, I'm glad that he, like, gets to be there.
But, like, I don't like CBJ. I just don't.
I don't. And the fact that I have to go to Nationwide Arena every time I want to watch a Bruins game.
I mean, Nationwide Arena slaps, though. Like, it's new.
They do. But fuck that fucking cannon. Like, the actual arena itself is Girly Pop Slay.
Girly Pop Slay.
The cannon. Also, the 2 Bruins goals weren't announced.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Because we were losing, the fans weren't cheering that much. So both me and my sister were like, did they just score? Did they not just score? What's happening?
Ohio is so stupid. You know what's stupid? A hockey team in Arizona. Why are they still there? Why are they still there? They're like a college.
They're literally playing in Mullet Arena.
I can't. That's so funny. But like, seriously though, like it's just.
Also, Arizona being good this year.
Yeah, it sucks that they don't have. Speaking of,
I didn't have this on my.
Quiet New York Islanders. you couldn't. Jack's voice was so loud on the feed because there was no one making any noise. You could hear people talking to each other on Nesson. You could literally hear people like yelling, like talking at this volume. You could hear people.
Yeah.
That was crazy. They didn't even have to filter anything. But anyway, I think we've talked enough for one.
I feel like we've gotten enough of a rampage.
I think we said our piece.
I think we had a great first episode.
I think the fact that we pretty much did not stray from hockey the whole time is really funny. But
well, it's a hockey podcast.
I cannot say that we will
continue to do so.
Because I think, you know, again, there's only so much you can say about, like, the Bruins. I think we've said most of our piece about the Bruins for now. I think it was good to establish how we feel about them.
Yeah.
Future, you know, talking about future games and stuff. But we can definitely get into other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna talk about other game recaps as they happen. But, like, if you want to send us non-hockey related questions, if you want to send us fucking stupid-ass quizzes to take.
Yeah, anything.
Like, literally anything. It is a hockey podcast, but we will get off topic and talk about annoying things. Like what I'm doing in...
Again, we're kind of doing this, you know, for, like, our little community of, like, friends on Twitter. So, like, you know us. What do you want to hear us do? Like,
yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like, you know, I just want to have fun.
If you want to DM our Twitter account, like the Weymouthers podcast Twitter account,
don't DM
or even either of our personal Twitter accounts.
Yeah, probably. I would suggest probably the podcast account so we can keep them all together.
Separate?
You know, like, if you're talking to one of us, you have an idea, just say it.
Yeah, but like,
if you want to be honest, we do want to do guests at some point. Probably not like next episode or anything, but we have a couple people we wanted to.
We have a couple people in mind. The people
inquire about having on here.
Wink. The people that we want on are well aware.
We're well aware of that, yeah.
So
in private. But yeah, and these people are very well loved. Well, at least one of them is.
One of them is very loved.
People are scared of
well loved, and then the other one, we love him at least.
We love him. I think a lot of people are scared of him.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I'm a little scared of him too sometimes. But
we still love him.
He's a teddy bear. At heart.
Yes.
Buddy. Is this pasta?
Is this pasta?
Guys, is this pasta?
I died laughing the one day that he asked if it was pasta, and he accidentally just tweeted a photo of pasta. Actually, yes, it is pasta this time.
Yes, it is. But yeah. So that's that. This has been a fun, just so you guys know, because you can't see. We started filming this. I'm upstairs with, like, a bunch of windows next to me. Em's room looks the same, but on mine. It started when my room was bright, and now you can't see anything behind me because it's so dark out. That's how long.
She's actually sitting in a cave right now.
Sitting in a cave. I'm sitting in my man cave.
The only reason mine hasn't changed is because my room has no windows in it. And the only light you're getting right now is because my iPad is directly behind my phone.
Mine was purely natural lighting and the computer screen in front of me. So you can't see anything behind me anymore, but
it just gradually got darker as we kept
talking. Like the first few minutes. Like the first hour is like bright. But yeah, because it's like 2 p.m.
We actually got on the call at 1 o'clock, and it is currently
4:11. 4:11 p.m.
4:11. So
17.
Well, we weren't recording for all of that time because we were discussing figuring out how to fucking record shit.
Yeah, I mean we're
because
it so that it doesn't.
We did not.
Like there were breaks. We're gonna cut it so you don't know when that was, but
there were breaks because we're not paying.
We're not paying Zoom. We're not paying Zoom. But yeah.
250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party was recent.
That was recent. Jack Edwards clip. That was great. Boston Tea Party. Fuck Britain. Yeah.
Fuck your taxes.
Yeah, but that's.
Speaking of that, remember when the fucking Skittles posted "At least we didn't blow a 3-1 lead"?
Yeah,
and
that was
crazy. Said, "Can we please stop throwing Skittles into the Boston Harbor?"
I wish. That would be so funny. Yeah, that's why they got recalled, right? Anyway. Yeah. So that was that. This has been fun. And
that was the first episode of the Weymouthers podcast.
For those of you who don't know how to pronounce Weymouth, it's Weymouth, not Weymouth.
It's not Weymouth. And Worcester, Massachusetts is not Worcester, Massachusetts.
Gloucester, and it's Gloucester, not Gloucester. So.
And I want you to know that you should be ashamed if you don't know that, because I'm from Indiana and I know that.
I want you to be ashamed if you don't know that Charlie Coyle Weymouth.
Also that. You guys all need to be aware that Charlie Coyle Weymouth. Listen to this.
You're listening to this. Why it started in the first place. So.
Listen to this wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yep. I mean, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna do that, but you know, it'll obviously be out by the time you're listening to this anyway.
Yeah. You know, follow the Twitter account.
I mean, I'm happily Smythe on everything, pretty much. So
I'm Imberga on Twitter, and everything else is personal, so I really don't. And
Instagram and Twitter.
The Twitter account for the podcast is at Weymouthers _pod.
You can send in notes in that Google form.
Send in requests. Because I mean,
whatever.
We have a Google form. That's how these questions were sent in.
You can be unhinged. You don't have to. Clearly.
I mean, someone asked Jacob Black was the longest edging streak. You don't have to ask serious questions.
But you can at least say whatever comes to your mind. Just we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
So thanks for tuning in to episode of the.
Whenever you're listening to this, I hope you're thoroughly enjoying it.
I hope you like us, because we like ourselves. So yeah.
We think we're pretty neat.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.
Fuck the Leafs.
Real.